competition, I think Netflix is facing a sheer,
Yeah.
they are seeing a nosedive, according to them, because there was too much
Yeah.
competition. That was one of the reasons why they had
uh,
the loss in revenue, or not loss in revenue, but this was reported a couple of days ago, maybe last week, that Netflix stock
mm,
nosedives about 24% after the streamer reports loss of 200,000 subscribers into quarter one. Uh, that's a lot of
yeah.
subscribers to lose in one quarter, and apparently they predict they'll lose 2 million more in Q2. So that's like,
Wow.
I think the stock price is already, they lost about $50 billion in last week. So I think they reported this on April 19th. Again, there's a reference to 420
Mm,
again on April 20th. They lost about $50
mm,
billion. That's a lot of money to lose.
wow.
uh, and I
Yeah.
don't know. They say it is because of the competition, because there have been a lot of other uh, uh, streaming
Streamers. Yeah.
options. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I have multiple
Yeah.
thoughts of this, but before I say something, what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, see, if you look at Netstream, the way they
Hmm.
started, uh, when they hardly had any competition, right? There was
Right.
Blockbuster, and then Netflix had the similar business, but then Blockbuster didn't invest much in
Right.
their streaming
Right.
service, right? So it was only Netflix. They pretty much didn't have any competition for a really long time. It was like AWS when they
Correct.
started, right? So the only difference is, if you look at AWS, they're still a
Right.
leader today because they do grandfather
Mhm.
plans, right? Where AWS shines is, of course,
Right.
the features. Again, it's a different
But
topic,
yeah.
but that is where this there is a stickiness to
Yeah.
the business, right? And of course, it's not that easy to just stop a subscription. If you look at Netflix, they don't treat you, I wouldn't call it treat, but what are you getting for your for
Like
sticking with
loyalty.
Netflix, right? I can just stop my, yeah, loyalty, exactly, right? There is no loyalty bonus, right? I'm a member for 10 years, and then I'm paying the same as the next guy, so that's gonna hurt them, right? For example, I have a gym membership, and I've been this member for almost
Okay.
12 years now, or
Hmm.
11 years now, right? Many a times I think, okay, maybe I got to try something else. There's Planet Fitness, which is
Right.
very cheap. Maybe I should try that one. But then I think, I have a grandfather plan. I pay, almost 40% less than what other people will get
Mm.
today, right? So I think, okay, no, I don't want to risk it. What if I don't like it, and if I have to come back, then it's going to be
Right.
very expensive, right? So I'm just going to let
Correct.
it be, right? So uh,
Right.
you need that, and a lot of businesses do it, and streaming services should do it, because the thing with streaming services, I can get
Correct.
Netflix today, and then in a couple of years the content is done, and then I get bored. Then there will be new content, but not, but if you look at HBO Max, it has
Correct.
a lot of good content. Now Apple TV Plus, if you haven't seen C series, like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then Disney Plus has all the
Marvel.
Avengers kids
Right.
content.
And
Yeah,
Star
Marvel
Wars.
content.
They
And
have a lot
then
of good content.
yeah,
Yeah.
Star Wars, of course. Yeah, yeah. And so a lot of streaming services came into the game
Right.
very quickly, and then Prime has their own content. So yes, if I am a Netflix subscriber, then I may stop it, and then I will always think
Correct.
that, right, let's try something else and then come back to this. And then there is also this, I don't know how legal it is, but there is something called as
Right. Yeah.
IPTV,
I don't know. I
where
am
you get
pretty
everything.
sure it's on the gray, on the, like, very, very on the border.
Yeah,
Right.
very gray. But a lot of people suggested me. I tried once, it was
Right.
very clumsy, and then I just gave up. But that is one. And IPTV, the problem was it used to take a lot
Right.
of bandwidth, right? But now the bandwidth getting bigger and bigger, maybe people are switching to that
Correct.
also more, right? Because you get pretty
Right.
much everything. And the last point I want to mention here is, I am guessing this, but Netflix, I think, was betting very highly on the pattern, because they do a lot of behavior, or pattern learning,
data machine
right?
machine learning
Yeah,
on the user usage pattern.
yeah,
Correct.
preferences. Yeah, yeah. So what you see, what you like, they actually do a
Correct.
very good job on that. Because I myself, I have seen some movies, and then it'll keep suggesting that kind of
Right.
movies
Yeah.
which are like not very
Correct.
bling movies, right? So I think I'm guessing they bet very highly on that. They were expecting that, that experience will
Correct.
take them through, right? Netflix, they pay very highly for the
Yeah,
engineers,
they
right?
do, of course. Like, yeah.
So yeah, so I think, if I have to guess, that could be the reason. Maybe they didn't go for the loyalty
Correct.
area, they just stuck, they were guessing. But yeah, I think it's sad. I don't think it's end of anything, but that's my view of Netflix. That could be the
Yeah, and
reasons.
one that's a very good point that you made, that like there is no benefit of staying on Netflix the entire year. You can use Netflix for a
Yeah,
month or two, go to HBO Plus, go to X, Y, and Z, and come back to Netflix. All these, not just Netflix, that applies
yeah,
to all the other subscribers as well, where they have to bind you to something. Apple is very smart. He's binding with the
yeah,
Apple One plan, where if you want music, if you want data storage, if you want app, like I think
yeah,
most of them are going for the data storage. I don't think anybody is is interested in like Apple
yeah.
TV or yeah, yeah.
And
I
fitness.
think fitness is definitely a
Mm.
definite value add, but like those are the only two benefits, right? The other
Yeah,
two are like how many people are going to use the other preferences, the arcade that he gives. So I think these are all like they're binding him. But like for HBO, I don't know. HBO does a lot
yeah,
of good content, but again they are like on their own. So I think that applies to all the streaming platforms. But there is a lot of conversation, especially when it comes to Netflix and Disney, that there's a conversation that they have become too liberal, and they all their shows are very very on the left side. And again, if most of your
mm,
users are young, then that makes sense. Like if you draw a spectrum, like how many users are in the 18 to 25 or 18 to 31 demographic, then that makes sense. Obviously you'll do a lot of left content because that's more cool and current.
yeah,
But if you're if because like most like I don't think that is the case anymore, because when the streaming company came about, like we were young, and that we were like it was serving us. I think it is serving the next generation, and suddenly the older generation doesn't like it anymore. So I think all of them are like
mm,
protesting and getting out of it, or sharing passwords. So I think
yeah,
so I think this is what I like. My cousins share my Netflix password, Netflix account, of course.
yeah,
uh, they don't pay for it, I think, but Netflix is catering them so that they stay on and watch a lot of shows. They are a little younger than us, but I
yeah,
am paying it, but I don't like any of the shows. So I'll be like, I'll stop paying for it,
yeah,
right? So I think that's probably happening with Netflix. I hope they correct themselves. Again, people think it's an engineering. I don't think it's an engineering problem. Like even if you when you go to any of these apps, right, I think by far the best user experience is Netflix, and then comes Apple TV. I think these two are like the best streaming platforms. When you for the user experience, when you
yeah,
go on it, you want to watch something, it's very easy. HBO is still lags, and
yeah,
Hulu, I don't know, I never do you have Hulu account? I never tried Hulu.
yeah. Yeah, Hulu has ads. That is the problem. I think there is some
Right.
premium subscription where
Okay.
there are no ads, but
Right.
Hulu has good content. Ads are annoying
What
part
what
of
about
Hulu.
the user
Other
experience
than
on
that, it's good.
Hulu? Is it reasonably okay?
Mm,
Right.
it is okay. It's very similar to HBO Max, where yeah, the seek features and the those are not good, but the search and all, it's
Right.
fairly simple. Yeah, it's good. Apple TV, Apple TV, actually, a lot of TVs are coming up with
Right.
Apple TV inbuilt right now. Those were
Oh,
bad.
is it?
I think Apple TV only you gotta
I
get, yeah, you
you
gotta get
need
the
Apple
device.
TV to get Apple
If
TV Plus.
Yep, yep,
And there is, I think they should have come up
yeah.
with a better
If you
name.
use the
Uh, uh,
maybe
I don't know. Like
light,
no, no. I'm
Apple
talking
TV
about the
light or
actual
something.
device, Apple TV
Yeah,
versus the Apple TV Plus. I think they could have come up with a better name.
yeah,
Like I always get confused. Like
yeah,
whatever, which one are we talking about?
yeah. I'm talking about the app, right? The
Yeah.
app sucks. it keeps crashing, and of course it's
Yeah.
not meant to be, right? Apple is a
Right.
binding ecosystem, and it only
Right.
runs on Apple devices. So yeah, I'm using it on a Sony TV. It
Hmm.
doesn't work well, it keeps
Right.
crashing now. But yeah, you're right. Netflix has done a great job, and I'm sure they have collected so much information about the patterns, what
Correct.
people are like, what kind of demographic people, age, everything. They have collected a ton of information, so they have a chance to just kick back. I'm sure there is a good reason why they went back. And if you look at the content also, right, there are a lot of local subscriptions that came in, like
Right.
AHA TV
India.
for
Oh,
Telugu,
Telugu. Yeah.
right? So yeah, I think there are other languages also, but more content in Telugu. So that has a lot of content. Every week you get two movies, lot of good shows, and also I don't know how many others are there, but if Indian and AHA is very good
Right.
app, right? The user experience, it's not like Yup TV,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
which sucked big time. So if you look at okay, in Telugu, that there is one app. I'm sure in other states in India also, they have
Correct.
different apps, right? And and if you remember, we are 1.3
Yep.
billion out of the
Yeah.
7 billion in the world. So if Indians drop their subscription, I'm sure it'll hurt them. And I don't know if
Right.
in China maybe there
Yeah.
is
Of
some
course.
other streaming app, and that is
Right.
another
Yeah.
1.5 billion. So if India and China they have other options, then I'm sure every business in the world will get affected because
No,
of
no,
the
that makes sense,
memberships.
right? Like I think like if you since we are both from Telugu, uh, Telugu state, we know
Yeah,
that like so Netflix. I mean, since we are living in America, I think we have more relevance to Netflix. But if you are living in India, like why would you get Netflix?
yeah,
Like there's no. I mean, if it's a choice
yeah,
between AHA and Netflix, you would like you will get a lot of value add from AHA than to you and your family, not
yeah,
just you, right? Like to you and your family from AHA than
yeah,
Netflix. So I think the regional competitors from different parts of the world are like giving a stiff competition to Netflix to get into the market. So I think that is great. I think this is great because again that goes back to our whole idea that the more competition is good. And the other thing they talk about is, did Netflix hit a upper limit where they have about 220 million users? I think that's the max you could go. Or maybe AHA, especially India, can change that. Like if some popular streaming app goes across India, like Z Telugu or like Sony, I think all of these have their own streaming apps now. Hotstar popularly.
didn't Reliance come up with their own app? If Reliance comes up with own
Yeah.
own app, I'm
Oh,
sure
of
they'll
course.
eat up. I think there
There,
is something.
there is. I don't believe. Yeah,
I
that
think
could
there
be
is
true.
something. They're coming up with Geo
That could be
something.
true. I'm not
Yeah.
sure, but that could be true.
So yeah, yeah, they can just buy up few of the apps, and then nobody can
Right.
beat them after
And I
that.
think India